Jackie Robinson was the youngest of five, and his mother was constantly attempting to avoid the segregation during her hunts for a job. This forced her having to move her family across the United States to California from Georgia, and Jackie channeling his anger and frustration over racism into sports. He was very athletic, excelling in sports like football, track, basketball, and especially baseball. Although he was later offered a scholarship to play football in college for the University of California at Los Angeles, but spent all of his funds, resulting in him having to drop out. In 1941, he played professional football for the Honolulu Bears, but was drafted in the Army later that year. After a short time, he was discharged due to football causing him to have weak ankles. In 1945, Robinson joined the Kansas City Monarchs baseball team in an all-African American league. He quickly became the league's top player, but disliked the low pay, constant traveling, and thought of quitting the sport entirely. However, Brooklyn Dodgers president Branch Rickey approached him with a job offer because of his admiration of Jackie's pride and hard work. Rickey wanted Robinson to play baseball in the all-white major league, for he had been searching for an African American to do so. After signing a contract October of that year, Robinson played for the Montreal Royals, where he was constantly discriminated against. Sports writers and team managers criticized both Robinson and Rickey and blamed them for ruining Major League Baseball. Racism was heavily distributed through his experience, ensuing him to having to ride in the back of the bus and games being canceled due to his participation. Although, this didn't stop him in using his talent and determination to take his team to the championship in the Little World Series. He was promoted to the Dodgers and promised that he would keep quiet despite all the racism that was cast upon him, which he didn't always follow through on that. His presence resulted in him receiving death threats, other teams trying to hurt him during games and threatening to go on strike, and hate mail. Robinson tried to hold his agreement to Rickey and let his playing speak for himself. His teammates recognized the value he brought to the team, and Robinson led the team in stolen bases and was named Rookie of the Year.
Jackie Robinson hit that ball. It went zooming across the left field wall. Yeah, boy.
Yes, Jackie hits that ball.
When he swung his bat, the crowd went wild because he knocked that ball a solid mile. Yeah, boy.
Yes, Jackie hits that ball.
During his second season, he was much more known for his bad temper because of his constant bickering with opponents and umpires.
Despite his angry reputation, fans loved when he would steal home and was named Most Valuable Player of that year. Due to his efforts, many other African Americans were brought into the major leagues, and Robinson was making the most money annually compared to any of his teammates. Robinson was a very important activist in the civil rights movement. He would support other African American athletes, even those on opposing teams. By the mid-1950s, Robinson suffered many injuries and retired from the major leagues, where he initiated his success as a businessman and encouraged other African Americans to join the business field. Robinson was added to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1962. He advocated for the first African American baseball team manager in the early 1970s, which inspired the first African American baseball manager to the Cleveland Indians. Jackie Robinson was an enormous inspiration, especially to the African American community, to those who dream of a pursuit in professional sports, and implemented a chain reaction of integration of African Americans into an originally all-white major league.
Boy,
Jackie Robinson hit that ball. When he hit it, boy, and had it all. So home.
Yes, Jack is real gone. Sachi Page is mellow, so is Campanella, Newcomb and Dovey too.
All in all, Jackie Robinson changed the game of baseball, as well as the outlook on the African American community. He was the first African American to play in Major League Baseball. It is believed that Robinson had the most influence in the integration of sports, greater than any other African American athlete, through his perseverance and hard work through discrimination and racism.
But it's a natural fact when Jackie comes to bat, the other team is through. Boy,
Jackie Robinson hit that